A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans. Brothers and sisters, owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. The commandments: you shall not commit adultery, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and whatever other commandment there may be, are summed up in this saying, namely, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no evil to the neighbor. Hence, love is the fulfillment of the law. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
I'm sure each of us has our own working definition of love. And I would hope that each of us has some experience of love to tie into that definition. Because those two together are going to shape the way we receive Paul's words this evening. Love is at the core of the human experience. It is the unique gift of God to we physical creatures to participate in His very being. There is no fuller participation in this life, into the divine life, than true love. And there's a danger, especially among, I find, younger people today, a sense of live and let live. I want to let others be and respect them and not necessarily interfere. That's a good philosophy to start from if we are to get along with others. But we can too easily fall into apathy if we don't truly consider that love and live and let live are not the same thing. Our own brother, Thomas Aquinas, gives us a distinction between simple goodwill and true love. And he says that goodwill simply means a kind disposition. It's kind of the baseline if you are to be a good person. But if you are to be a Christian, endowed with the Spirit of God, you can't just be a well-wisher. We have to develop a passion for the good of others. Compassion. We have to want for others what is good for them, regardless of our own agendas or what we may think is good. That is how we are to love our neighbor. Do we love because we think we're getting something in return? Or do we love because we want to participate in the very love that God has for each one of us? A love that is not based on how we behave or how another person treats us, but that truly values each person for who he or she is. We can truly love unconditionally when we live and love as God lives and loves. This is not lighthearted. It is not a soft sell approach to theology. When we love, we understand more clearly why God commands us to live as He does. Notice that Paul does not disregard the law. He even says that there are commandments not listed here. Whatever other commandment there may be. And they're only supported by the law, not abolished by it. The law can be seen as a roadmap. We can see detours, we can see the path we should take, we should see where we can go into error if we turn the wrong direction. That's all well and good. But without that compass that is love, we will just continue on paths not knowing our end, not knowing where we're trying to ultimately arrive. And finally, Paul sums up this teaching by understanding that love can do no harm to anyone. Sometimes we're called upon to do things for the good of others, and it's painful because we can't immediately see that what we're doing has a good end. We have to trust that the feeling of love is a byproduct, and it's not always geared towards God's love working in us. And that when we truly work out of love without restraint, the Holy Spirit is present and active. While there may be brief suffering as we struggle to do what is right and what is loving, God will heal that suffering, and good fruit will come in place of that sorrow. In our own lives, let us not be too quick to discount the significance and power of true love. It is not some sweet feeling or weak-willed pacifism. It is the deepest expression of our divine heritage and the sign by which the entire world knows that we are disciples of Christ.